Welcome to the Gentleman's Guide to the Accursed. Bright and early this Monday. Why? Well, I've got lots of recordings lined up. Lots of recordings lined up for this week. And, well, I need to get some character creation done. And what's more, I need to get some character creation done using material from the Curseborne Player's Guide. Yeah, I know that there are a lot of you out there, a lot of Curseborne fans who have been watching my channel. Every single week there's been at least one video to do with Curseborne for a year now. And we are now approaching the upcoming Kickstarter for the Curseborne Player's Guide. It goes live on October the 1st. And you can find a link to that Kickstarter in the video description below. And what's more, I know there's a lot of you out there thinking, well, we shouldn't back the player's guide until we've already got the core book. Well, here's the news. If you backed for the Curseborne core book, the great news is you will already have it. You see, we sent out emails starting Friday last week to people who backed the Curseborne core book, and they should now have access to their backer PDFs. We are currently accumulating feedback for that backer PDF so that we can amend it, we can add things, make adjustments, take things away. Basically, minor things at this point, but we're very grateful for any feedback that you happen to give. In that meantime, well, I thought we'd do some more videos to do with the player's guide, because this is upcoming content. A lot of you have already read the Curseborne manuscript. This is material you wouldn't have seen before. And this video is also an excuse to talk about Curseborne a little more, answer any questions that you have if you happen to be one of these antisocial people that's up at this time of day. Obviously, in Europe, this is a perfectly normal time of day. In America, most of you are still tucked up with your bear and having a lovely night's sleep. But when you wake up, you will find this video waiting for you. Before we get started with this character creation, I just wanted to talk a little about the Curseborne core and how well it has landed. I mentioned this on the Onyx Path News as well, which is coming out today, that the sheer enthusiasm from the fan base over on the Onyx Path Discord, on RPGNet, on Reddit, and I'm sure in other places has been absolutely magnificent to see. It has been brilliant. Very heartening to watch. Not only people compliment the writing, the utility, the systems, the setting material, but also the art, which so often gets glossed over in people's reviews. But clearly, when you get it right, there's a lot of people singing the praises of the art in this game. So thanks very much, everybody who's been speaking so fondly about the Curseborne core book. And if you missed out on the Curseborne Kickstarter and you hadn't yet pre-ordered it via BackerKit, the great news is you can go over to BackerKit right now. There is a link in the video description below for you to do so, where you can make that order now and you will get the PDF straight away. So even if you missed the crowdfunder, you can get that book before general release. All you have to do is go over to BackerKit and order it there. So feel free to go ahead and do so. Now, I see we have a few people tuned in. Make sure that if you are tuning in, you leave a thumbs up. Not because I need it desperately for my fragile ego, though fragile it is, but because if you leave a thumbs up, this video will propagate to more people's subscriber feeds. It will appear in various places. That's how the algorithm works, I'm afraid. It needs to see engagement. It needs to see thumbs up. It needs to see chatter in the chat space. So if you're here watching live, type in, "Hi, how are you? I love Curseborne." Whatever it is you need to type, because when people engage, more people tune in. I don't make these rules. This is a YouTube thing, and it's something I have to ask people to do every single time, unfortunately. It's a sad necessity of using social media to get the word out, I'm afraid. So please do engage if you can. Now let's talk about what we are here to do. Let's talk about it. In the Curseborne Player's Guide, you see, not only do we have all of these new accursed families, not only do we have Venators that you can now play, Orphans that you can now play, accursed that are not strictly attached to any family at all, we also provide what is called template character creation. You see, I've noticed, we've all noticed, the developers at Onyx Path, that some people don't like granular character building where you're assigning points skill by skill. Hi, Stephen. Lovely to, or Stefan, sorry, if you're in Berlin. I hope you are having a fantastic morning. And yeah, some people don't really enjoy the point-by-point character build, and they want to cobble their character together in haste. They want to pull all the material there in the course of about 15 minutes. So let's see if we can do that. Because with template character creation, what we do... Hi, Selena. Oz, I'm guessing that's Australia rather than Austria. But regardless, I am glad to have you here. If you were having a wonderful night, you're in Australia. There we go. So I need your buy-in. I need you guys watching, guys, girls, and other, to let me know. Which archetype are we going for? Because with template character creation, you pick an archetype first. And here are the choices, everybody. We've got the Blazing Icon. We've got a Chess Master. We've got a Deadeye, an Eldritch Scholar, Ghost Runner, Juggernaut, Velvet Knife, or Wild Stalker. We can roll 1d10 to determine this if we want. In fact, you know what? To get the ball rolling, that is exactly what I'm going to do. There we go. And we are creating a Velvet Knife. Okay, so that means I navigate straight down to the Velvet Knife section of character creation. I then roll another 1d10. Wow, this is going to be going fast. Okay, and this is going to determine the kind of accursed family that I end up with. And sorry if that is obscenely loud. It looks like I'm creating one of the Munificents. So that is an outcast. Okay, so that then takes us to our character. So using the new and official Curseborne character sheet, which hasn't been made form fillable yet because there are still adjustments we may need to make, we need to add a +2 to intellect. So we're going to start with 1, of course, because all attributes start with 1. So that's 3 in intellect, a +1 in might, a +1 in dexterity, a +1 in stamina, and a +3 in presence. You see, what this system does, +3 in manipulation and +3 in composure, and I'm adding the automatic 1 that exists for each of these. What's going on here? Well, let me tell you. With template character creation, you roll on these tables. If you want to make a very quick character for Curseborne, you choose the archetype first by rolling 1d10. If you don't want to choose, you just roll 1d10, and then it takes you to a section. In this case, Velvet Knife provides us with several options. Velvet Knife families are the Heirs, the Munificents, the Premier, Shades, and Sphinx. I rolled 1d10. I got a 3. That means I got Munificents. And this immediately assigns me a set of attributes, which I have now assigned. Likewise, skills. For the Velvet Knife character of the Munificence family, I start with +1 artistry. I end up with +2 empathy. I have +1 esoterica, +1 larceny, +1 leadership, and +3 persuasion. Boom. That's a character already made. Now the motif that this one is going to get is again automatically assigned. I believe, and this is one of the things we're probably going to have to amend here on the character sheet, we don't have a space for motifs yet. That's my fault, I didn't point it out. So we're going to put motif down here. When casting a spell with the emotional attunement, whoops, we are probably going to want to make that space slightly different, I think, aren't we? There we go. We'll put it there for the time being. When casting a spell with the emotional attunement, bleed 1 additional curse die to gain the refreshed status effect. In other words, when we start blasting other people's emotions, our emotions get stronger. That motif is automatically assigned to the Munificent if we have gone down the Velvet Knife path. Next, it automatically assigns our spells. And the spells that we get for choosing this archetype are Archonic Voice, Devil's Bargain, and Soul Contract, which are absolutely perfect for a Munificent Tempter. The Lineage Torment we've ended up with is Higher Thoughts, so let's get to our Torments. And the edges that we are getting here, looks like we've been assigned Archon's Blessing. That is a 3-dot. Need to find this. I'm so used to using the other character sheet, having to remind myself where all the new things are. Alright, so that is the accursed part of our character. So that means we now move down to the role path. So we need to determine a role path, add a listed attribute, skill, and edge dot. So here, live viewers, let's choose one of these instead of rolling 1d10. Our character right now, who appears to be incredibly persuasive, a bit empathetic, certainly very skilled in social, and with spells that back that school of thought up. Very much so. We get to choose one of the following role paths: academic, creative, executive, fighter, fixer, hunter, journalist, lawyer, occultist, or scientist. We could roll 1d10 to determine this, or what we can do is go out to the people watching. That's you. And you can decide one of those. So if you're watching live, please chime in to let us know what this Munificent is going to look like. While you're looking that up, let's see. So yes, when you're using the template character creation system, it is worth noting that your major path is always your family and you will always gain their inheritance. And the minor path is incorporated into all that point spread. Stefan wants a velvet lawyer. Ooh, that's a good term. I like that. Okay, we'll go for the lawyer. Thank you very much, Stefan. So that means we are going to get +1 intellect in this breakdown. Very smart character. I know this is messy, but this will be form fillable by the time the finished book is released. We get +1 resolve. Okay. We get +1 presence. Whoa, okay, that is a big deal. We have a 5 in presence and a +1 in manipulation. Yep, this person is our Saul Goodman Munificent, I think. Or if you want to be a little kinder, we're the Lincoln Lawyer. Why not? We get +2 empathy, so our characters are really, really good at insight. Okay, there we go. We get another 1 in larceny. Not necessarily the most honest of lawyers. We get another 2 in leadership. Whoops. Again, once this is all finished, they'll be form fillable. And +2 in persuasion. Okay. That is a very persuasive starting character with 5 dots in manipulation and 5 dots in persuasion. This lawyer knows how to win a case or turn a jury. Edges, we get determined silence, which is 1 dot. So we know when to keep our mouth shut. And we also get quick read, which is perfect for our character being so empathetic. We then get to choose our personal torment. We're going to roll 1d10 for that. And we have got from this a personal torment of number 5, lash out at someone who tries to show you kindness. Lash out at kindness. Ooh, okay. Maybe we are a tortured kind of lawyer. Okay, that's the personal torment done. Now we do the aspirations. We just roll 1d10 here. Short-term aspirations. we have got the following short-termers. We rolled a 1, so to start off our character journey, we want to ask for help. And that's for the general list. I'm going to choose one from the outcast list as well. And the next short-term aspiration is a 6, hide my true nature. Am I not proud of being an outcast? Then we get to long-term aspirations, which are arguably something that should be determined depending on the story you're playing, but we will roll for that too. And apparently our long-term aspiration is going to be to earn the respect of my family. Not easy when you're a munificent, I will grant you that. Our concept is Velvet Knife, or Velvet Lawyer, I liked that. Family path is immediately going to be Munificent, we know. Lineage path is Outcast. Role path is Lawyer. Player name is, well, it's me, isn't it? Then we get onto contacts. We get to roll for the contacts. We went for Velvet Knife, so let's see what the contacts table is for there. We're going to take... Hello, Sharky! Oh, lovely to have you here, Sharky. It's so rare I get to have the Antipodeans on any of my streams because you're all so far away. And it's telling me that I need to run more streams early in the morning. There we go. I have rolled for the Velvet Knife's contact table. I'll explain to everyone who's joining late what exactly is going on in a minute. So our contact is going to be a school tutor. Interesting. And that we're going to give them the tags of influential. I think this is going to be a university. So law school. We'll change this a little. Law school tutor. And this is going to be influential and mentor. We're giving them 2 tags. And we're going to put 2 dots in this. We're then going to head on down. So when you're assigning contacts with the template system, you get the associated tables for your archetype. In this case, you went for the Velvet Knife archetype. Then you go to your lineage table, which in this case is outcasts. And we're going to go for a grateful mortal. This is going to be someone we got off, I think, for a crime they definitely did commit. Influential and moneyed. And I'm going to put another 2 dots in there, which will leave us with, finally, our roll path contacts table. Rolling 1d10. And we have got a gossip blogger. Interesting. Not what I would expect. And they are an informant. One dot there. So finally, what does this leave us with? Well, our damnation, our inheritance. I'm sure I recorded our inheritance somewhere. Yes, of course, we take the family inheritance for being a munificent. They're not all listed in the template section because, naturally, they're in the core book. So, how about we have a quick look at that core book? I have been using the core book quite frequently recently. Do excuse any notes that I have left there. So here is the look at the munificents, of course, in as I've seen him referred to as Duke Nukem. More of a Johnny Bravo type. One hell of a pair of trainers there. So we want to go for the munificence inheritance, which is when acting in accordance with a contract, someone more capable than you gain +1 social advantage on actions performed in the service. So +1 social advantage when acting in accordance with a contract to someone more powerful. There we go. Alright, we are Entanglement 1, Curse Dice 1. Again, this character sheet will be made form fillable by the main book's release. Our Damnation, of course, is going to be associated with what our Outcast Urge happens to be. Good question, Sharky, saying, what do you suppose that represents in the fiction that the Munificents are excellent at following through on their word? That they are, in one respect, perfect servants. They are loyal to a fault. They also know that they can only receive satisfaction by pleasing, essentially, demonic masters. The Munificents will definitely play the game of being on top. They will act like they are, but in the same way that they are favoured servants. They're on top to a degree. And so they will throw around the weight of, I work for this person, therefore I have power over you. But they use that as a sort of empty weapon, in a way. Because ultimately, while they can speak for their master, and that may well evoke fear in the person they're talking to, they are not the ones with the power. It's the devils, the jinn, the whatever it is, the fae, who are commanding them. So let's skip back to the Outcast Damnation. And God, I love the art in this book. It really did come out fantastic, didn't it? So we need, for our major path, to inflict the guilt-ridden status effect. To inflict guilt-ridden to end damnation. The outcasts, of course, trigger their damnation at the most inconvenient times. When they run out of curse dice, they will reveal their fully liminal self. Now, a Munificent is highly likely to appear as something incredibly angelic, beatific, so that other mortals will look upon them and hopefully feel ashamed. That will result in them feeling guilt-ridden. They will try and stir up feelings of guilt and shame. Now, what have we got left in the finishing touches of the character creation? Quite simply, we roll for the character name. Sharky, you're most active in the chat right now. Do we want our characters to have a feminine name, masculine name, or neutral name? Roll 1d10. You can roll 1d10 and tell me which of those tables you went for while I'm reading your last comment here. Sharky says, it's a really pretty book. Absolutely, that player's guide cover is a look or two. I love how the light catches the knife over that woman's head. Someone called it Halo-esque. Absolutely the intent. And I am so glad people are appreciating the art. The fact is, in a lot of our RPGs, a lot of gamers, of course, and I think we've had this conversation before, Sharky, when I was working on Vampire, a lot of gamers will gravitate straight to the mechanics. They want to know how the powers work. In this game, it will be spells. In Vampire, it will be disciplines, and so on and so forth. Some like to read the setting. They want to immerse themselves in the lore. But so many skim over the art. The art may well sell the game, but they don't focus on it. They want to know what's playable. I've seen so much good buzz about the art in the Curseborne core book. It is a wonderful thing to see. It's fantastic. And again, you're not the only person who's been pointing out how much they've enjoyed the player's guide art that we previewed so far. So there'll be more of that to come. Sharky rolled on the neutral names table, got a 3. Our character is Casey Turner. Casey Turner, Velvet Lawyer, of the Munificents family. And this character was created without me having to choose where any of these dots were assigned, because all of that was established by using the template character creation system. If I wasn't talking through this process, it would take me all of about 5 minutes to create this character, and that is rapid. So if you want to start creating characters for, let's say, convention games for Curseborne, the Player's Guide has you set for that. There is so much in there, but this template character creation system, which exists in the 4th chapter of the book, I want to say, is just a really rapid way and a completely different way of creating characters for Storypath Ultra using this archetype system. I'm very, very happy with it. I think it comes out magnificent. We've got our Casey Turner lawyer at this point, and we are ready to go. And Sharky points out, I have whole folders and folders of pieces I've screenshotted from RPG books over the years for inspiration. Yeah, me too. I keep copies of art that I really enjoy so that when I'm running games I can then show people, oh, this is what this character looks like, or this is what this scene is like, and so on. Anyway, that is the character creation using the templates. Joshua FLCL says, art is also super useful for conveying tone and can help get me excited for things like powers. Well, there is more art to come in the latter half of the Curseborne core book, as several people have pointed out. There are some blank spaces. That is, we know about them. There was some art that came in a little later than intended. They will obviously end up in the core book when we do the final release of it. But why did I make this video? Well, in part it is, of course, to draw your attention to the fact that the Player's Guide is going live on Kickstarter on the 1st. And the link to that Kickstarter is in the video description below. So if you want to get notified when the campaign starts, just click on that link. Simple as that. You'll get an email when the campaign begins. If you are interested in the Curseborne core book and you haven't backed it yet, you haven't missed out. You haven't missed your opportunity to do so. Far from it. Instead, you can click on the Backer Kits link, which is in the video description below, buy a copy of the PDF, and you will get the copy of the PDF that I have been scrolling through for reference, this thing, that I've been scrolling through for reference for this character creation process. So there is a lot of Curseborne out there now. I need to point out that every month now for the last year we have been releasing a tasty bit, a small source book for Curseborne, a new adversary, a new set of story hooks. Well, now that you can get access to that core book right here, there we go, Curseborne, you can have this just as easily as I have it. And when you do, well, great news is you can now buy those adversaries, those tasty bits, and you can start running your adventures. Nothing significant will be changing at this point in the way of mechanics, in the way of setting. The feedback we're receiving now are minor tweaks for clarity. So now is a very good time to not only pick up Curseborne in PDF, but also get ready for the Curseborne Player's Guide. I see that Selena says, can you give a brief description of the content in the Player's Guide? More family options. Yep, there'll be, I think it's 9 more families. Playable Venators, who are people, a lot of them hunt monsters. Not all of them. But they are effectively a new lineage with new families within. They're not mechanically the same as a new lineage. Venators are not accursed. They are a different kind of being in the game of Curseborne. You can also play orphans in Curseborne using the Player's Guide. This is if you aren't interested in the family part of the game, or if you want to play a character who is somehow divorced, emancipated from their family, you can play an orphan. There is new setting material in there in the sense of how families interact with each other, what accursed of different families might do for fun, as well as the politics between it all. That's all in there too. There are new spells, there are new edges. Basically, there is a lot. There's also this entire template character creation system we've just been running through for rapid character creation. So in short, the Player's Guide has a whole raft of new options, and it isn't and this may be, I guess, cutting off my nose to spite my face a little, it isn't a book that you need to run Curseborne. The core book has everything in it that you could possibly need to run Curseborne, but if you want even more options, if you want the game to expand, the Player's Guide is definitely worth picking up. Sharky says, I noticed that in Curseborne it's hard to make an ineffective character, which is welcome. Yeah, that was by design. We didn't want characters to feel like they were, I guess, creeping and crawling through the muck and not able to make an effect. You can basically do that as well. With the player's guide, there is the pre-accursed option that's in there. Sharky also says, it's very exciting to see a first edition of an urban horror game unfold in real time, seeing stuff being built out in ways both new and familiar. Yeah, everyone here knows, and we make no secret of the fact that we, Onyx Path, spent an awful lot of time working on the World of Darkness, on Chronicles of Darkness, myself most definitely included. And we cannot and we do not regret any of that work. We're very proud of it. But Curseborne offers something that we haven't had the opportunity to do while committing to the World of Darkness and Chronicles of Darkness, and that is have complete creative freedom to create our own horror game with ideas we've been wanting to put into games for quite some time and have either held back or been gestating on or have sometimes been denied. And now this game isn't under license. This isn't a game that someone else has approval over. This is something we get to decide what goes in there. And so this is the culmination of an awful lot of creativity, a love of horror, a love of urban fantasy as well. And so many of the creators came in with their own inspirations. I've mentioned many times that my chief inspirations are David Lynch, Stephen King, and other writers are coming in with Mike Flanagan and all kinds of places. You can see the inspiration section in the Curseborne core book. So, yeah, in short, we're very happy with it. We're glad it's receiving such a fond response. If you don't own a copy of Curseborne already, you can buy it now. You can go over to BackerKit. The link is in the video description. You can click it and you can buy a copy. You will get it straight away. You'll get that PDF sent to you. Easy. And the player's guide goes live on 1st of October on Kickstarter. The link to that is live as well. You can click on that and get notified when the campaign goes up. There we go. That character creation in total, I think, took all about 15 minutes. And if I'm, as I say, being truthful, were I doing this without talking my way through it, it would take me 5 minutes. So using template character creation, using the archetypes that are in the player's guide, that was a rapid piece of character creation there for Casey Turner, our munificent Velvet Lawyer. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Do keep supporting Curseborne, keep singing its praises in places like Reddit and RPGNet, EN World, Facebook, wherever it is you social media. If you're in World of Darkness spaces or Chronicles of Darkness spaces, make sure the people there know about the game as well. And thank you all so much, not only for watching, but for your support for this game. Be seeing you.